guys, what's going on? Welcome to a new video. We are back here in Italy, Turin, my hometown. I would like to take you along today for a day in the life of what I'm doing to train for an upcoming potential Ironman, and showing you a bit what I'm doing for training, what I'm eating, how I'm recovering, because I've done some changes compared to past videos that I made. So today I would like to show you what I'm doing. Today started off with a group ride with a couple of guys who are way stronger than me. We ended up doing a couple of hours together, and then I went on for one more hour. And basically today the objective was to work the climbs and to just recover on the downhills. What I'm trying to do right now is to crank the TSS as much as I can without loading my joints too much. So that consists mostly of cycling, a lot of cycling volume and intensity. The ride was awesome up here in my local hills. Now it's just finished. I'm gonna head home and show you what I do to recover. Un chilo di Apricots. Oof. Okay, so I just literally walked in the door, and I'm gonna show you the thing that I've been doing this year in order to try and recover faster. This video is going to be very simple. It's no super cool editing or anything. This is just going to be a day in the life, straight up, everything that I do, and just deliver the information, because I realize that sometimes I'm sorry I get lost making videos because I want to make them all cool, but this time I just want to deliver information and show you exactly what I'm doing. So one of the key things that I've started doing this year is, as soon as I finish a training session, whatever it is, I get essential amino acids in. I don't do the protein shakes or any of that stuff anymore, because I find that they would get me heavy and I wouldn't feel great during the day. So what I do right now is just I go straight to the source and I get essential amino acids with just fizzy water, and I get those in. That's the first thing that I do. Why do I do this? Well, because basically what happened when I was in Bali and I was really training hard is that my muscles from the upper body and basically all my muscles just faded away. They completely disappeared. And it wasn't something that I was super down with, actually. So this year I tried doing stuff to mitigate that, which was in the first place doing a month of really weightlifting and doing stuff with weights in order to prevent and reduce muscle loss as much as possible when I then do a really focused endurance block. So in this case, essential amino acids, the building blocks of protein, 2.8 grams of L-leucine, 9 essential amino acids, so it has all the amino acids that are needed for muscle and protein synthesis, L-lysine and everything. These they taste like Coca-Cola basically, and I much prefer them compared to getting protein shakes in. I'll just do this with some fizzy water and I'll be done. So convenient and light, and I really like it. Another thing that I've been taking is this calcium, magnesium and zinc with vitamin D3 supplement. I bought it when I had COVID last year, and I've just been taking it because I think it provides all the stuff that might be lacking in the diet, including calcium and vitamin D3. Again, always remember, I'm not a coach, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not an elite athlete by any means. I'm just a regular bloke who had no background in this stuff, and I just get into things, and I do a lot of research, and I go looking for stuff, and I research stuff really a lot. So all the things that I do, take them with a grain of salt. I'm just making this video because it was requested. Sometimes I think what I do just isn't really worth sharing, but in this case, I think people ask for it, so I will do it. How to thrive on plants and get high TSS per week to get really fit, mixing in recovery, and yeah, all those tactics that I use. So this is the first thing I do for recovery. The second thing is going to be to eat some carbs. In this case, I got some really awesome apricots. I'm going to eat apricots. So I have covered protein and carbohydrate, keeping it very low fat. Then I'm going to recover, as in chill out, work, and just rest basically. And change out of these clothes because they're really sweaty. Okay, so we are here at the desk. Got some awesome apricots that we are going to smash in now. And what I would like to do is very simply give you an overview of what I'm doing right now currently, what I'm using, and what I'm trying to put together as a plan to maximize the TSS that I can get in a week to get me as fit as possible for long distance, of course, and what apps I'm using and what training schedule I'm doing. So the app that I'm using is, of course, Training Peaks. So I tried a multitude of different approaches, from Strava in the beginning to Garmin Connect, but there is no app like Training Peaks. Training Peaks is a really sick app. So I'll show you a little bit about today's ride, what I believe, and some people don't agree with me, but it's just my personal opinion and my personal way of doing things. I found that the fastest and the best way to get training stress in compared to fatigue and everything else is cycling. A lot of cycling, volume and intensity. So what I am doing right now is I'm trying to squeeze in as much cycling volume as I can, doing one day hard so high intensity, 1 day long endurance, which sometimes is a bit more like a tempo effort or race pace effort, and other days is just going along on the bike, so getting 5-6 hours in. This usually will be with some flat sections which mimic like a race setting, and then a climb, maybe like a 20-30 kilometer climb, then coming back down and focusing on the last flat section going back home, which might be 40-50 kilometers, and treating that as if it were the last part of a race. So we're here on the Training Peaks home. I would like to show you what I've done the past weeks. Starting from some weeks ago, I started really cranking in the cycling and doing a lot of strength work. So what I'm trying to do is to maximize my muscle retention basically and not fade away, because I think that is very important. So I did cycling combined with strength sessions, which included like squats, deadlifts, and like just free weight stuff to get my legs strong and also my upper body strong. This then transitioned into strength, cycling, running, doing a lot of different stuff, but basically combining the two things and getting to a training stress score of 543, which is like not a lot. And then I got 1 week in with big cycling volume and some running. Turned out to be 1093 TSS. This was in Thailand. Now this I got back to Italy. And what happened in Italy is I started really focusing on the bike, cycling, and I did 4-hour time trial. Next day I did another 5.5 hours, high volume, rest day, and then 6 hours on the bike. Really long ride, hard ride with a big climb in the middle up to Ceresole Reale. It's a really hard climb. Then we had another big cycling week with one swim session, and this was just cranking in as much cycling as I could in 1 week and getting as fit as possible basically. Now we come to this week, cycling, all this stuff, and we come to today's ride. So today's ride was 3 hours, 9 minutes, 64 kilometers, 200 heart rate TSS, and it was a great ride with a lot of climbs. Here the best thing is riding around on the road bike and just getting lost in the hills. There's so many great climbs. Today was the first day using my new shoes, which this is not sponsored, but my triathlon team has a relationship with this brand, DMT, so I've been using their product, and these shoes, man, are dope. What I did is I got the carbon plated mountain bike shoes, because I'm basically done with road shoes. I think they offer no advantage to a shoe like this, which is a high performance mountain bike shoe. And what you can do with this is you can also walk around and you don't feel like an idiot when you're walking. They are so stiff, they have BOA, and really dig them. So I've been riding these a couple of days, really sick. Another thing to note is, since I had the problem with my Achilles tendon, is I put in a midfoot cleat setup, which actually I think is really awesome for sustained power on long distances. This is something that I've really come to realize is pretty awesome. These are from Patrick, so if you want to check them out, if you've had problems with your Achilles, or if you want to try a more midfoot cleat setup, highly recommend them. Apricot. Back to the ride. So today's ride, 3 hours, 9 minutes, 64 kilometers, 200 HR TSS. Don't have power because I have power on my tri-bike. I went with some people who were way stronger cyclists than me, so I got dropped on a couple of climbs. And I think that it is actually a very useful thing, because it pushes you out of your comfort zone and you see where you can push yourself, and maybe going alone it wouldn't happen. Heart rate zones, so some heart rate zone and recovery. Fat burning, not much. 31 minutes in basic endurance, which is what we're trying to hit mostly. But today was aerobic endurance mostly, 40 minutes. And then we have road race, 151, 163 BPM, from 80 to 87% of heart rate max, 50 minutes in that zone, which was exactly what we're trying to do today. Today was like a hard ride. And then we have 9 minutes in zone speed training. And that, man, this is when I was getting dropped. Really hard to keep up with this guy. So yeah, today was a hard ride. Tomorrow is probably gonna be easier ride, but longer. Another thing that I would like to say is that training right now is going great as far as volume and intensity. The thing is, it is not hitting all the disciplines, so I need to get back in the pool, even though I did a lot of swimming in Thailand, so I was pretty comfortable, especially in open water, sighting and everything. But I do need to get back in the pool and getting used to doing really long efforts, and get back in the lake and hopefully swim in the sea also. Today hopefully I'm gonna get the all clear to resume running training, and it's gonna start ASAP. So maybe today. Now let's see, dashboard. 101 fitness, 144 fatigue, minus 36 form, so I'm really getting it in. And the thing is, I would like to show you last 90 days. As you can see, fitness is going up steadily. So we started 90 days ago was 27, so very low. And this was coming back from COVID plus injury, and I was just starting to get back into it. And in 90 days, we are up to a chronic training load fitness score of 101. And this is basically only with cycling, strength training, and some swimming. Next thing I would like to show you is last 365 days. And this ties in with the concept of every race has a target CTL, a target fitness score. And in this case for Ironman, it's a range, of course, as if you want to be more competitive, it's got to be higher. But it goes around, basically per week, it should be between 500 TSS and 1,500 TSS, so averaging around 1,000, 1,100. And what I would like to show to you here is that in 365 days, so this basically on the left is when I got COVID, so I was pretty fit in Bali. COVID, pericarditis all the way down, injury, bam, and we went all the way down to 11. So here basically I wasn't doing anything, I was only doing strength training. Then I got a little bit back into it, but my Achilles tendon was still hurting. Took some time off, and then I did some therapy with BBC 157, and here it started getting better. And as you can see, I trained on the gravel bike in Thailand, and to be honest, training on the gravel bike was really great, because as soon as then I got back here in Italy on the tri-bike and the road bike, which are so light, it's incredible, I started just cranking it, and here we go, up and up and up and up. TSS, big rides, and here we are at a fitness score of 101, which is higher than 1 year ago. And to be honest, I'm feeling really good. So hopefully I get the all clear today from my orthopedic doctor, and we can start figuring out if there will be a target race in the future. But for now, this is enough for me. Being this fit is enough for me. A lot of people won't be stoked on this. I don't know, it's just the way I'm doing stuff right now. I identify that TSS is the most important thing, and getting the body used to a lot of load is the most important thing, and for me it's cycling. So for you it might be running. I just can't handle the volume, I always get injured, so I'm just trying to crank with cycling as much as possible. Then I will do the swimming to get just used to doing long distance, and running to condition my body as much as I can with the time I have available in order to try and perform in the marathon. It's gonna be sick. So that's a little overview of what's going on right now, what I did this morning, and what's been going on in the past months. I highly recommend Training Peaks, of course. You pay for it, but it gives you just so much more than Strava or Garmin Connect. Garmin Connect is doable, Strava also is doable, but it's less precise than this. Like, this chart is absolutely so precise, really, really good to have a clear picture of what you're doing. Do I recommend ramping up your TSS like this? I don't recommend it. I realize that I'm pushing it, but it's working so far, so I'm just gonna try and do it. Not really overdoing it. I really do what I feel like. So if I feel like taking a rest day, I will do it. If I feel like going on a ride easier, I will do it. So this morning on the ride, knowing that it was a longish ride, between 2.5 hours and 3 hours, what I did was I had in the front bottle, I had some sugar water, like 100 grams or something, with some lemon squeezed in, so a bit of lemonade. And I didn't eat anything for the first like 60 minutes, but just because I didn't really feel like eating or drinking. And then when I caught up with the other guys and I saw that I was getting dropped, I started drinking some sugar water, and that gave me a second wind. Felt really, really great. As you know, I'm on Strava. I love Strava. It's a great way to connect with other people. And Strava has implemented video to their platform. So what we are doing right now is we are getting some video from the 360 cam of this morning. I'm gonna edit a little thing, post it up on there. This is the 360 cam that I use, Insta360 One X2. It's so awesome. It's tiny, fits in your pocket. You can just pull it out and get some great footage of yourself and your friends. And right now what we're gonna do is just download some footage to the phone and then post it on Strava. If you wanna connect on Strava, I'll leave my link here. I find it's really awesome. It's awesome to see where other people are training. Like, every time I see someone from another part of the world, like doing their local climb, I'm always thinking like, oh man, that must be sick. Like, this is exactly what I have here, they have over there. I wonder what they feel like getting up early morning, seeing sunrise on their local climb. And it's really sick, like Israel or Egypt, anywhere, USA. So I really dig that. Strava is a great platform for social media and connecting with other athletes from around the world. I highly recommend checking it out and also being active on it, because we go on so many awesome rides, you know, and we see awesome things every morning. So hell, sometimes I just forget the beautiful things that I see, and like taking a picture of it and then sharing it with other people, I think just adds another layer of the beautiful things that endurance training can give to our lives and to the lives of other people. So just when you're out, snap a picture, even just snap a selfie and just have that moment for life. Remember it, that you went on that climb and what you felt, because it's training, but it also is fun and adventure and seeing new things. So yeah, Strava, great platform. Getting into these apricots, 1 kilo of apricots. I love tropical fruit, but European fruit in summer, so good. Now, I would like to share with you another recovery trick that I've been doing right now. And this is something that I used to think was a complete gimmick, that it was just something stupid to steal money from you basically. And what it is compression socks. So I've been using compression socks after a friend told me to try them, and I've got to say they are unbelievable for recovery. They really do help a lot. I used to believe they were a huge gimmick geared toward triathletes to just buy them and that it basically didn't work, but I've got to say they really do work because they just pump more blood and more blood flow to the muscles, so they really help with recovery. I'll show you. So you look like a complete idiot with these on, but they do work. So I'll just put them on, chill in them for 1 hour, and these just get the blood pumping in the calves without doing anything. And that is another little trick. It's fairly inexpensive. I think these were about 14 euros, 15 euros or something. So it's not really expensive. Just put them on and get that blood pumping. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna sit at the computer with socks on for like 1 hour, 2 hours, get some work in, then have lunch and so on. Okay, so that is work done. What is going on is that I am completely trashed by this morning's ride. I'm pretty toast. So I've finished 1 kilo of apricots this morning. I had the essential amino acids, and that tied me over pretty good up until this point, but I think that we need to get some good lunch in. Now it's time to take off the compression socks. Hopefully they work their magic and my recovery will be expedited by this. Now it's time to get some lunch in. Let's go. So we are out here in the kitchen, and as I said, today is going to be a no BS day. I'm going to show you exactly what I do, like real life, no making anything better than it actually is. And since I'm absolutely thrashed by this morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert to a ready-made meal. I really need some real food now. So what I'm going to be cooking up right now is a mix of grains, veggies, and some beans. And it's like one of the laziest meals you can ever make. It's so quick, easy, but it does have a lot of nourishment, and I think it is super, super healthy. I'll show you what it is right now. So this basically is straight up grains and veggies. It's already cooked, so I don't even need to think about that. This packet is €2.50, so super cheap. Per 100 grams, it's 113 calories. So this packet is 600 grams, so you get 660 calories or something like that. So we're gonna eat all of this basically, and it is pretty awesome. It has barley, peas, spelt, 10% is sweet corn, carrots, 9% red rice, 9% brown rice, 5% black rice, 4% is zucchini. So this is a high carb meal with veggies, no oils added, and it's already cooked, so it's super convenient. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in a pan. I'm just gonna heat it up. It takes literally nothing. And then I'm gonna put in 1 can of red kidney beans just to add a little extra protein and carbs to the bowl, and to just makes it a bit more yummy. So this product you can find in any little supermarket, and I really think it is pretty awesome. Fats per 100 grams, 0.9 grams, which is absolutely amazing. And if you don't cook it with any oil, it is so easy to digest and it gives a lot of nourishment. So let's put this in the pan and then let's eat because I'm starving. So to be super honest, I'm not like a great cook, and I'm very lazy with my preparations. So I really try and keep stuff as basic as possible. Like in this case, just a grain, some veggies, and a legume. That is usually what I do. I just use what's already ready most of the time. Canned legumes, grains, I try and cook my own, but if I find a product like this, I will use it. It is not the most cost effective, but I think it can really help on days when you aren't really like bursting with energy and want to get into the kitchen and really cook. And this is like super healthy thing because it's completely whole foods, no added oils, not processed. So in my opinion, this stuff really has a place in a day where you don't really want to focus on cooking and it just takes so little energy to prepare this stuff. So yeah, I've been trying to max out my lazy cooking skills and finding the recipes that require least effort but that provide like good nutritional value. And ever since I've came back, this is basically what I've been reverting to. Tastes delicious, healthy, gets all the nutrients. It's just stuff that I really find can help and add value during the day. There's this myth that being plant-based and being vegan is hard. You have to spend all day in the kitchen. What I'm trying to do with these videos, I've done other videos on this, is to completely dispel this myth. It's not true, because there are so many dishes that everybody in the world consumes that are already vegan or plant-based and people don't even realize it. In this case, this can be a ready-made meal that can be found in a lot of different supermarkets, I think. It's just that in this case, it's being marketed and branded as vegan. Hell, that's what caught my attention, that's why I bought it. So if marketing it this way, even though the product doesn't change, helps with getting it out to more people, I'm all for it. So there we have a big plate. Looks delicious. Basically just carbs, carbs, carbs. I will not refrain from eating carbohydrate. I will not refrain from eating anything that I feel that I need. And throughout the day, I always try to aim to hit as much carbohydrate and essential amino acids that my body requires, at least, if not going a bit overboard. I believe it is better to be overboard than to have too little, because then risk really tanking. One other thing that I often eat are these corn cakes or just basic rice cakes. I think they're really helpful to get some more carbohydrate in throughout the day. Very easy to digest, very cheap. So this is something that I will use very often, even just for snacking. Now I'm pretty starving, so let's dig in. Another thing is, if a normal person saw the quantity that I'm about to eat, they would be like shocked. They would be like, this guy's insane. But if you actually look at it, at plants, at calories, sometimes this is the amount, the volume that you need to eat to get sufficient calories to thrive throughout the day. And today, to be honest, I'm not really thriving. I'm kind of smashed from this morning. So maybe I need to up my calories, or maybe I just need to take a nap. It could be one of those two things, or maybe both. Oh. Okay, so I just received the news that there is a new document from the MRI that I had the other day. I'm just gonna check it out. Okay, so what has happened in the past months is that I started getting back into running a little bit, just a little bit. I was doing like run walk. I took it really easy, but I started developing some pain in my left shin, which is absolutely mind-boggling. I really can't understand how it happened, because I went so slow and so easy, but it just happened. And this, if I have to be honest, is something that ties in with a condition that I've talked about in many other videos. And this is fibromyalgia. So basically I had fibromyalgia really bad for 1 year, like in 2017. And unfortunately, I put it kind of like 95% in remission. But the thing that happens is that sometimes I get these absolutely completely random pains in parts of the body. And the thing is, they don't go away. They don't go away with ice, they don't go away with heat, they don't go away with even medication. It's absolutely insane and it boggles my mind, but it's the truth. Like, for instance, I had pain in my right foot one time for like 2 months for no reason. Absolutely no reason. And I'm very fortunate to be living in Italy so that I can have access to MRIs very cheaply for 100 euros, which is absolutely nothing, and very fast. Like in a couple of days you'll get your MRI booked, then in 2 days you get your results back. I really want to share this because it's something that I struggle with a lot, because it puts a lot of uncertainty on my kind of like training, and that is why a lot of time I train on the bike, because most often than not these problems come out when I run, on the run. And the other thing that is a real problem, like for instance in this case, is that if I did not get this niggle checked out, potentially it could be way worse, because with running injuries, if you like have something that is really bad, that means you stop, you can't do anything. Like if you get a stress fracture or something like that, it means you are out of the game, basically. That is why I try and keep my running volume to a minimum, like minimum effective dose for me to cross that finish line with a decent performance. So that is unfortunately the truth that I deal with very often. It's not great at all, but I believe that what endurance gives to me is so much more valuable than getting a couple of MRIs a year to just check out that I'm not having like really serious problems. That is like 200 euros per year, and I think it is way worth it. I really hope that it's all good. I'm not sure about it though, so I really need to check it out, and let's just pray for it that it's okay. Here goes. If this is not okay, it's going to require a lot of navigation on my part and just to see what the path forward is. Okay, MRI is clear. Whew. Now I'm gonna send it to my orthopedic surgeon. He already told me that everything was supposed to be good. So basically what happens is when I have a niggle that is bothering me for more than a week or two, I just go straight, get an MRI. If you think about it, if you don't know what you're dealing with, it's gonna be a nightmare. You could be spending potentially way more money between osteopaths, physiotherapists, and then eventually doctors and stuff. So I just prefer to go straight to the source, get an MRI, have some tangible data to work with, talk with my orthopedic surgeon, who is an absolute ace orthopedic surgeon. I kid you not, I've known him for more than 10 years, and every single time he said something was this way, he was always spot on. I'm kind of relieved, guys, because that would have been a pretty heavy thing to deal with. Hopefully we're all good to start a bit of running again. Hopefully. I'm pretty stoked right now, I'm not gonna lie. What is gonna happen right now is that I have some hard data that says some things. It has been seen by some professionals. And what I'm gonna do right now is to navigate this as if it were shin splints. So I'm gonna be changing shoes, which I think the biggest culprit and problem that happened was that I was using like really old shoes that were super busted up. I'm gonna be icing it after activity, and I'm gonna be doing like some prehab exercises from the new Strava app, which is called Recover Athletics. And regarding shoes, I got a new pair of shoes, and in specific case, I got a new pair of Hoka Clifton 8s. Oh, these are light. These are really light compared to the Bondi. Still has that Hoka cushion, and hopefully these will help me run pain-free. And I'm gonna be doing calf compression sleeves during the run, then icing and recovery with the compression socks straight after training. These look sick. Now what I'm gonna do, since I'm absolutely toast, I'm gonna have a nap, like a 20-minute nap. Then I'm gonna work a little bit, and then maybe go test out these shoes on a run. Just woke up from the nap. That felt absolutely great. Napping in the afternoon feels always so awesome. I'm really still hungry, so what I have is some leftovers from lunch. I'm just gonna eat some of those and then probably go for a run, maybe. Man, I'm starving, so I punched the stuff that I've eaten today into chronometer. I don't do this ever, but I will do it for this video. And it appears that I'm very low on calories right now. Total that I've consumed with Apricots, little ready-made plate, and the kidney beans, a total of 1,845 calories, and calories burnt by cycling were around 1,561 calories of active calories, not of total calories, which were way more, like 1,900, but you only need to count the active calories. So I will try and get some stuff to eat in order to not have to eat so late in the day, because I really don't enjoy eating close to bedtime. And yeah, I'm taking it minute by minute, but great day today. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna be taping my shin. Okay, so I just got the run done. Feeling very good actually. Cardiovascularly, absolutely perfect. I could have easily run a half marathon at that pace, like super easily. Problem is conditioning of the legs and the joints. So what I'm doing now is I've just been to the supermarket. I got some bags of ice, and then I went to another shop and I got just a straight plastic bucket, because the last time that I had these problems, this is what I did to fix it. After I would run, I would come home, I would fill this bucket with ice and water, and I would just sit in it for like half an hour or until the water was hot. So this is exactly what I'm gonna do right now. Oh, man, that is cold. So now I'm just gonna sit here 20 minutes, half an hour, see how it goes. Oh. So after a good 20 minutes in the ice bath for the legs. I'm out. It's time for dinner. I'm gonna show you the laziest vegan meal that you can make at home. It's literally the laziest and easiest thing that you can cook. Let's go to the kitchen. Are you ready for the laziest recipe ever? Here we go. Here we have a couple of sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are absolutely awesome. They're very easy to digest. They're whole food. They have a lot of carbohydrate in them. It is very, very difficult to find people who have problems with digesting sweet potato. A lot of people know that you can bake these and you can bake them very easily in the oven, but I'm gonna show you the next level. And that is just, you need to poke them with a fork and you can stick them in the microwave, cook them around 10 minutes and they will become perfect. So you just slam them in the microwave and it's done. Close it. And that's literally all you have to do. I'm gonna come back in 12 minutes. They're gonna be ready. Maybe I'll have to check them and maybe cook them 1 minute more. And they will be so good. If you have any other recipes like this, like super simple, crazy fast recipes that not many people know about, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking for stuff like this because I don't really like to cook that much. So it'll be a great hand. The run, how did it go? I would say it went fairly well. It was a 6.5 kilometer run with 2 walk stops, like 30-second walk stops, just to get the joints loaded correctly. It was completely zone 2, and actually the thing that I noticed that I was really happy with is that maintaining a low heart rate, 145 at what would be my target Ironman marathon pace, was absolutely effortless. Like, it was really, really easy, which means that the past 3-4 months of low heart rate training really are paying off, also on the run. So the crossover between bike and run is there. I already knew this, and to be honest, I have a lot of faith in my abilities because I know that I can just click into run pace between 5:15 and 5:30, which is very slow. It's nothing fast, but for what my ambitions are, it is absolutely enough. So I'm going to be focusing on dialing in that pace. One thing that I would like to share with you guys is the data screens that I have when I run. One is just distance, time, and pace, but the one that I look at the most is cadence, heart rate, and power. Running power, I think it's a very good gauge of what we're doing, but especially the number that I look at the most is cadence. So trying to keep a high cadence is what has helped me in the past, maintaining a good form when I run. So focusing on getting my cadence as close as possible to 180, even though in my opinion, anything above 160 is okay, especially if you're going at lower paces, like 530 per kilometer, because it's very hard to maintain 90 cadence when you're at 530 per kilometer, and it's pretty unnatural actually. And I think that trying to alter the running form too much isn't really such a great thing. I just clock in at 5:30 pace and try and keep my cadence above 160, between 160 and 180, and just run with good form, so like standing up straight and being light on the feet. And that's basically what I do. Heart rate is very important because it can give a gauge of the effort that we're producing as well as power. And for instance, today it was kind of like a cloudy day, so not really hot, and my heart rate stayed fairly low. If I had done this run at 12 o'clock today, probably would have been 5 to 10 beats higher, whereas the power would have remained the same. For the moment, running for me is basically done by heart rate. I'm trying to get my go all day pace, so between 5 and 5:30 with the lowest heart rate possible. And I'm just gonna try and do that by running at a low intensity. Okay, let's go check out what the sweet potatoes are doing. In the meantime, I'm just gonna make a super simple salad with chickpeas, lettuce, and some tomatoes. And this is a salad literally made in 2 minutes, and it's delicious and it has a lot of different nutrients. So this meal was prepared in 20 minutes tops. All whole foods, carbohydrate, protein. Dude, that's insane. So this is dinner, and if you ask me, this is pretty awesome, especially to think that you can make it in 20 minutes. 2 little bonus tips would be have a sauce or a condiment for it. It will just make it more tasty. In this case, we have some curry ketchup from Lidl, and then to have some seasoning. This is just seasoning for potatoes, so it has like some salt, some herbs and stuff like that. This is awesome actually. I like making this video because it feels a bit like I'm inviting you over for dinner. On this note, I will taste this. Thanks for watching. I hope this video added some value to your life. Maybe you discovered something new, or maybe you thought, oh, I can make sweet potatoes in the microwave, and that is perfect. I've hit the nail on the head if I sparked some interest in your own personal lives and your own personal journey on training, nutrition, eating, everything. So yeah, gonna dig in, and thanks for watching. Join the Discord chat, and I will see you in the next video. Bye gang, see you soon.